Hi, it's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and today I'm going to show you how to make friends cookies for a bridal shower. For perfect royal icing consistency, I'm going to throw up a link in the corner that you can check out. In this video, I'm not going to go too in-depth about the actual consistency of royal icing or how I flood my cookies so puffily and so perfectly, so I will throw up another link in the corner that you can check out as well. I am a die-hard Friends fan. I think I've watched every episode at least 45 times. So I really wanted to write some really fun quotes on these cookies, but I tried to keep it a bit more generic so that people that just kind of enjoy the show like a regular person would be able to appreciate these. It's really important that when you're trying to add definition like on those cups that you do one part first and then you let that fully dry and then you fill in the rest of the icing next to it. It's really important that you let everything fully dry before adding the next layer. Make sure that your icing consistency is really nice and puffy because it's going to make this look even better. I decided not to hand cut any of my cookies today. I'm just using cookie cutters because I wanted to add some details to give it that bridal party aspect, and I also wanted to leave room for quotes as well. Now we are starting with the lobster, and it's really important that you can see how my details are all spread out right now. I'm going to be adding those other parts in after this layer here dries. If you try to add in all the details all at once, then things are going to start running together. Now you could do this another way where you outline the details first and then fill in, but I find you don't get that nice puffy look when you do that. Time to create Monica's iconic purple door, and I'm just showing you this in this order so that when you're making this whole set, you can kind of time things properly so that things have time to dry, and then you can go and add in those details without having to waste any time. For the little peephole, we're going to utilize a wet on wet technique. Make sure that purple door underneath is fully dry before you do that though. I didn't actually have the cutter for the door, so what I'm doing is I took a cookie cutter that kind of looked similar, but it does take some figuring out about what I'm going to cut out and what I'm going to use. So essentially all you're really doing is taking 2 half circles and putting that on each corner, and then you're connecting those half circles that you made with some swag lines. And then fill that all in with white flood. Time for the iconic couch. This is where it is super important that you make sure when you fill in, you're not filling in that flooding icing directly beside a spot that has already just been filled. You need to let it dry and then you can fill those spots beside it. Turkey time! I'm using a little bit of a strange method for this. I didn't want to remix the colors all just for one cookie, so I'm putting down some white flooding and then I'm just kind of haphazardly adding in that little pinky color. Achieving particular fonts can be really tricky for people, but the trick with this is that you have to make sure you look at the font as if it is just a drawing. You don't want to look at the font as if an A is an A, for example. The reason is because your brain is automatically going to want to write your A how you normally write it. If you kind of look at this as a foreign letter, like when you're first learning how to read and write, then you're going to fare a lot better. This Friends font is also a great starter font because it's mostly made up of straight lines and curves that are very forgiving and look a little bit on the messier side anyway. To make those Friends logos, you really want to make sure that you add in these dots. If you don't feel like mixing a bunch of different colors for this, then you could use some fondant dots as well. If you know what I'm writing on this cookie is all about, comment down below what episode this is referring to and what are they talking about. I wanted to do something very specifically bridal, and I know that there's a lot of episodes where people are getting married, but I think Chandler and Monica's wedding is one of the most iconic weddings of the series, which is why I wanted to do something of a reference from that. I thought about doing Ross and Emily's wedding, but since that didn't pan out, I didn't think the bride-to-be would want to be reminded of a failed marriage. You can color these couches a number of ways, but I really wanted it to look worn in and a little bit more cartoonish, so I decided to go the airbrush route with this. Make sure that when you're airbrushing, you always use a really light hand and make sure that that icing is fully dry. A little bit of gold for the bottom. For the little door frame, you're going to make 4 different scrolls that are all going to be connected. And then go ahead and add some swag detailing. Whenever you're creating lines like this, you are not actually digging that piping bag through, you're dropping the lines as you press. I think using gold luster dust is a must for this. I've seen it done with yellow, but in the show, it's kind of like a goldy, bronzy color. When creating something really perfect like this Central Perk logo, what I like to do is I like to break up the different elements. So see how I made 2 arcs and then I connected them? Because if I tried to do it all in one motion, then I wouldn't have things as centered nicely. Again, doing 2 parallel lines and then connecting things. The writing is a bit tricky on this, but I will say if you use tipless bags, it's a bit easier. I kind of flatten the tip of the tipless bag so it comes out more squared instead of rounded. This particular cookie isn't really Friends related, but I figured can't go wrong with a diamond ring in a bridal set. If you want to learn how to make all those little florals that I added to everything, then I will throw up a link in the corner where I show you how to use up all of your leftover royal icing for many different consistencies. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now I'm uploading daily, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Don't forget to comment, request, or ask a question. I love engaging with you. Bye!